Today we're doing an unboxing and assembly of the Apis C1 Max, and hopefully this video makes your assembly project a little bit easier. Let's get into it. So here's everything that comes in the box once it's unpacked. Let's take a look inside the two boxes and see what we have there as well. Charger with cord, 2 amp charger. Inside our accessories box here is going to be our pedals left and right. Our front fork skewer for the quick release on the front tire. Some zip ties, which are always handy. This little cap that probably goes up on the stem to finish it off nice, and then a toolkit. Pretty basic tools. Okay, unpacked, this is everything that came in the box, and this is everything that should be in yours as well. The first thing we want to do is insert our stem into the tube of the bike frame, and for packing reasons they have it facing the wrong direction. So we're going to go ahead and turn that around. We're going to lift up our handlebars and spin it around because we want this part here to be on the outside of the fork. So we're just going to turn it just like that. Perfect. Now you can see this part here is on the outside of the fork. Your lockout is going to be over here on the right side, and your preload will be on the left side here if you were sitting on the bike. So that's what that's going to look like. Now that we know our fork's going in the correct direction, we can install our stem, and make sure you're going to put this little cover plate on first. You're just going to slide it in just like that, and then your stem's going to slide down the down tube of the bike, and it's going to face this direction just like that. If this is too tight, like it's tight up here and you can't get that stem down into the frame of the bike, you're going to need to loosen up this screw right here up at the top, and then it'll drop this down so it slides in just like it is now. You're going to want your 6mm wrench for this, and you can see where that screw is, and we're going to screw this in just like that. So just wanted you to see that there's a screw down there. We're going to straighten that stem out perfectly straight, and then we'll turn it clockwise. Tighten that down nice. Now that stem can't pull out. Even if we pull up on it, it won't come out. So that's exactly what you want. Now we're going to take off this stem faceplate and install the handlebars. Back the screws out of this plate. So we'll take off all 4 screws and we'll install the handlebars on the stem. You're going to want to make sure you untangle the wires so that there's none crisscrossing, and they're going to look just like this. Everything's freed up, and your front brake line is over here on the left side, and we're going to place the handlebars up just like that. You have this ribbed section of the handlebars, and that's where that faceplate's going to go on, and that keeps a nice grip on the handlebars once you start tightening them down. So you want to take this ribbed area and have it right in the center here. Just like this. Get them started by hand at first, and then we'll screw them down tighter. It doesn't matter if they twist and turn when you get them started. We'll pull them up nice and straight as we start to tighten them. We'll probably move them later once we're sitting on the bike and we have a different perspective. Anytime you're tightening down a stem like this, you want to go from like top left to bottom right, top right to bottom left. You just want to make sure you're not tightening them down unevenly. The next thing we're going to do is install our saddle with seat post, and they're already attached for you. All you have to do is flip that latch open, take your seat with seat posts that are already attached, and slide it right down the tubing of the bike just like that, and then flip it closed. Now keep in mind, once you're sitting on the seat, that can happen where you're pushing it down, so that's not tight enough. So what we want to do is we want to pull this open, turn this knob on this side right here, and now go ahead and close that seat, and it's much tighter. And you can see it puts an indent on our finger, so you know we're pushing that in, and that seat's going nowhere now. Now that the handlebars and saddle are on, let's flip the bike over so we can install the brake caliper and the front wheel. I'll put some styrofoam up here on the handlebars to protect it, and maybe just move our control pad down so it doesn't get smashed when we flip it over. So this piece of hardware up on the fork was just here for shipping, just so the fork didn't get damaged during transit. So we're going to go ahead and take that off, and we don't have any need for it, so we'll just toss it in the trash. Let's go ahead and get our brake caliper attached first. So we're going to take it, and it's going to get lined up here on the bike, and that brake caliper is going to go just like this. So it's going to be on this left side. You're going to use these 2 screws and the holes here to line it up. And this wire should be on the outside just the way it is there. And that's how it's going to look. We'll unscrew this hardware right here. So the screw is going to come around the back side and then screw it into the caliper. We may need to readjust this later on if the brake caliper is scraping. And we'll tighten it down the rest of the way and make it nice and snug. Let's go ahead and install our front wheel now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off this protective plastic piece here, pop that off, and that's trash. We don't need it for anything. Let's go ahead and remove this plastic piece protecting our axle, and our front brake is going to slide in just like this. The brake rotor is going to go right between the pads, and that's going to sit on the axle just like that. Perfect. Let's get a close-up. So the rotor is going between the brake pads, and the axle is sitting right on the fork just like that. We'll attach our quick release skewer to the axle, so we're going to have our quick release lever here. This piece here that's going to go just like that. That's where that lever is just going to roll in there. It's like a little elbow for it. We'll have our lock washer and our spring. And the springs are going to face to the center just like that. So let's go ahead and pull this off and get to our hardware. So we want to remove everything. We're going to keep this elbow right here next to that lever because that's where it's going to stay. Slide our spring on first, and the large end of the spring is going to go on just like this, and we'll slide it on there. Then we're going to take our safety washer and slide that on just like that. So now when we take our skewer, stick it into the axle just like this. We want to make sure that that safety washer goes on first and goes right into that hole. And then our spring and our lever. Let's do the same on the other side. We're going to take our safety washer, make sure that notched end is to the inside, put it in the hole here and line it up just like that. Now that safety washer can't pull out, and that's what it's designed to do. Next thing we'll do is take our other spring, small end first, slide it on, and then our cap, and just screw that on just like that. I'm basically just holding this side with my hand, and I'm going to turn this till it gets nice and tight. Check it, see if I pull the lever. Oh yeah, that's really tight. That's just how I want it. And you want it facing this way, so if you hit any branches or anything, it can't pull that lever open. And no scraping. Now we're going to assemble the pedals. Always remember there's a left and a right pedal. They're marked with little labels here. And if you look at the end, you're going to have an L and an R on the end of the pedal as well. And that's just important so you don't screw them on the wrong direction. So this is our right side because the bike is upside down, remember that? It even shows you what direction to screw it on. And make it nice and tight. Now we'll do the other side. This is the left pedal, and that's going to go on just like this. If you turn it on by hand, you can really tell that it's not cross-threaded because it goes on really, really easy. We'll take our wrench and make our last couple turns with it. Make it nice and snug. Perfect. Let's flip the bike right side up and complete the assembly. Let's attach our front fender and light, but let's first take this piece of rubber off the top here. That was just for packing. You don't need that. The way our fender and light are going to get attached is our fender is going to come around this back side, tuck it underneath here, and then bring it up to the front. And then our light is going to go just like that. So let's go ahead and back this screw out and get it attached. So I'm gonna come through the light first, then our fender, and just get it started. All we're looking to do is get a couple turns on it so everything stays together. And now we'll tighten it down. Once I get it a little tighter, I'll pull that fender up so it stays up and then tighten it down the rest of the way. So I'm holding the fender up and I'm gonna get a couple turns on it here. And now let's go ahead and tighten it down, make it nice and snug. That's nice and snug. Now let's get the fender arms attached. We're gonna need to back this screw out. These fender arm screws seem a little bit beefier than some of the others. You might not want to tighten them down all the way till you get everything centered up on that fender. Looks like this is going to line up well, but just keep that in mind. I didn't want to over tighten the fender arms just to make sure everything lines up, and then we'll tighten them down once everything is on. Okay, so now we'll just make sure that it's nice and snug on this side, and we want to make sure it's nice and snug on both sides. Perfect. Okay, front fender and light assembled, and I like the way this rubber piece looks at the top and at the bottom. Okay, let's finish attaching the rear fender, which is partially assembled. We're going to pull off this protective cover here and back this screw out, and the rear fender is going to hook on here, and then the fender arms down here at the bottom. We'll back this screw out and attach this part of the fender first. And come up just like that and insert our screw right here. And we'll put the fender on before that rear rack just so we have room, and tighten it down. Perfect. Now let's get those fender arms on. And it looks like our fender arms are going to go down here. Back the screw out and attach them. Do the other side as well. Backed out. Go ahead and stick that in there just like that. And we'll make it nice and snug on both sides. Fender assembled. Let's get the rear rack on it. Remove the protective covers off of the rear rack. Take all them off. Everything here was protecting it. Now the rear rack is going to come up just like this and rest here. We're going to have to back out these 4 screws. Let's get started with that first. So it's going to come into position just like this. Get started up here at the top first. What I'd like to do is get all the screws on and get a couple turns on each one and then tighten the rack down. So I'm actually pulling back on this while I'm trying to screw it in because it's not going to line up just perfectly. Pull it back a little bit to get it started. That actually works. So let's get them tightened down. And if you just get it started with like just maybe 1 turn, just so you can get everything lined up, it's much easier to put the rack on like that. You don't want to like tighten these down and then start the bottom. You want to leave everything loose. I don't want to just do it all on one side and have the rack be lopsided. Now we're making that rack nice and tight. Perfect. Now let's get the electronics hooked up. We're going to kind of run this wire back here and up through this zip tie that they have hanging on here, all ready for us. Very nice. And what we want to do, if you look in the end, there's a notch here and you want to line them up, but there's also arrows on the outside so you can see the arrow and line the arrow up as well. Just like that. Pull our zip tie tight. I'll throw one more zip tie up here so it's nice and tied in. Give it a finished look. We'll go ahead and clip them. Rear rack with light assembled. Let's straighten out our control pad and tighten that down. Let's not forget the finishing touches. And this cap is going to go right here, just like that. And that finishes it off nice. Tighten down your throttle, your rear brake, and your thumb shifter. Sometimes it's easier to stick your wrench in it, just like this, then turn it down, get it in the position you want, and then tighten it down. Just like that. That's perfect. That feels really good. Your keys are going to be up here on the handlebars. You're just going to want to clip them off. You can charge the battery on the bike by just lifting up this tab and charging it right here. And to charge your battery off the bike, you're just going to insert your key, turn it. That drops the battery down. Then you're just going to flip this little safety latch there, and your battery will come out just like that. Make sure the first time you flip the power on, because it comes off. And up here at the top is a battery strength indicator. To pop the battery back in, just tuck it back up into the down tube, pop it into place, and remove your key. Simple as that. To power up the bike, you're going to long press the power button. Once powered up, you're going to have a plus and minus button, and that's going to change your pedal assist levels. You're going to have 5 different levels of pedal assist. And to move them down, you just hit the minus button. If you click the info button, you'll have your max speed, average speed, volts, amps, tripometer, odometer, and back to your max speed. Over here to the left is going to be your headlight. Just click it there. Down below that is going to be your turn signals left and right. They don't signal on the actual display, but they do light up on the actual tail light. And just below that is your horn. To get into your advanced settings, just hold the plus button and minus button at the same time, and there you'll have your P settings. I don't recommend you change anything in there unless you know what you're doing, and if you do, write down the settings so you can get back to it. To go back to the main screen, we'll just hold down the info button. The light button on the control display looks like it's just going to dim it, and that will be nice for night riding. And it looks like that's the only thing it does, because over here to the left you have that dedicated headlight. That's going to wrap this one up for the unboxing and assembly of the Apus M1 Max. Check over every nut, bolt, and screw. Even if it wasn't part of the assembly today, you want to make sure that you're riding safe. And if you have a friend or family member that's interested in purchasing one of these e-bikes, there'll be links in the description for you to do so, along with any available coupon codes. And thank you to those of you that are using those links. It certainly supports the channel, and I truly appreciate it. So like always, thanks for watching. Ride safe. Have fun. See ya.